Assalamualaikum class, welcome to our next tutorial of mobile application development. In the previous tutorial we have created an Android project. Now let's continue with that project. But before continuing with that project, let's understand a bit about the interface of the Android Studio. So whenever you create a project, this interface comes to you, and in this interface you have the main menu bar that all interfaces have, that have some icons like options like file, edit, view, navigation, and you will use these icons with the as you start learning that. But you must know this is the basically the menu bar. Then comes the navigation sorry toolbar. In toolbar, the recently used or the most used icons are grouped here so that you can select the navigation bar. You can navigate that icon using that toolbar. And in after the toolbar there is a navigation bar. That navigation, whenever you create a project, the two files are already open, that is main activity.java and activity underscore main dot xml. These are basically the main files to start designing or developing your project. But this navigation bar basically helps you to find out where this file basically resides. For example, you have created your project. In your project, the main activity.java basically lie in the app folder, then the source folder, then the main folder, then the java folder, and all these folders are listed here in the navigation bar. So navigation bar will help you to find out your file in your project, and it will guide you that where actually your file is. Same for the activity underscore xml. And then there comes the editor tab. Editor tab will help you to switch between the files. If you have opened so many files, you can switch between the file and you can start editing your file. And these files are basically edited in the editor window. In editor window you can edit your code and text files, but Android do not have. You can also design the applications using the drag and drop tool in the editor window, but Android do not support till now the image and audio editing. All other editing is also available. We will discuss later on how you can edit the XML file and the main activity file. Then there comes the tool buttons, and basically the Android have so many tools, and all these tools are grouped basically into different kind of structures, and all these structures or groups can be accessed by clicking on the tool buttons. As you can see, there is a one there is an integer 1 2 and other numbers are placed with the structure. For example, if I click on 1, that is the project, it will open the project tool window. If I click the favorite, that is 2, it will open the favorite window. So I can find out the tools in the favorites by clicking on the tool button, that is favorites. So tool buttons will help you to access specific kind of tools. And if I open the project, it will give me the project tool window. In project tool window, I have all the files listed in the project, and I can switch to the files using that tool window. I can change the appearance of the file by using the project or structure, or different type of grouping can be selected based on my requirement. Then come the status bar. Status bar basically display the working that what actually Android Studio in Android Studio is happening, and what is the status of your emulator, and this kind of things are basically shown in the status bar. And then the marker bar. Then there are two icons that may be not familiar to you. All other are you may have some idea, that is gutter and the marker bar. So Android have gutter and the marker bar facility. The marker bar basically marks the line of the code that have some ambiguity and gives the suggestion related to the marker bar. For example, in XML you have placed some hard coded value, or you may not added the margins, or this kind of things basically highlighted through the yellow lines here, and you can modify that code based on the suggestion on marker bar. And the gutter, very important tool that will help you to fold and unfold your code. For example, I have these functions listed in my file main activity, and I want to unfold them. Then I just click on this minus, and it will only write the declaration of the file, and all this code is unfolded, so I can make it more readable. Also, gutter displays some messages regarding adding the libraries. This kind of things will help you to implement code betterly, and also displays the debugging breakpoints that can help you to debug your application. So this is basically the overview of the Android Studio, and you start learning the interface, and you will get familiar with the interface as soon as you start using that application. So let's start with the application that we have created in the previous tutorial. This is basically the interface that we have created. As you can see here, the two files are open, that is activity underscore main and main activity, and here you have all the files listed when you click on the project. Okay, when you click on the project, you can select different kind of view. For example, I click on the Android view so that I can view my apps in the form of Java in the source folder. You can switch to another view, but by opening the Android view, I get to know there are three more important things in my project, that is manifest, the configuration file of my project, the Java, the backend file, and the resource, that is the front end resources required for the application development. So one thing that we will start is whenever you create your application, what happened on your phone is basically a same kind of icons appear in your phone. That is I will show you if in my emulator I go to the main screen. This is my main screen. Whenever you create an application, your application have the icon like this. But if you want to change your icon, and you want to modify that icon based on your application name. For example, for messages there is a relevant icon, for files there is a relevant icon, you want to add some relevant icon, you can add that. How you can add that? You just go on your app, and then you right click on your app and create new, and there is an option image asset. Click on the image asset. It will open a window for you from where you can design your own icon using the image, clip art, text, whatever you want. There are two kind of thing. One is the foreground, and at foreground I can select the clip art. You can select other clip arts as well, and you can change the colors. If I select on the color, I can select different kind of icon, like add a voice call, add to queue, or any other material icon that I want to add. So these icons are basically under the Apache license version 2.0, so you can use any of the icon listed here, or you can use your own image by selecting the asset type as image. So just select your favorite icon and click OK. Oh, it gets stuck. Android Studio includes the tool called Image Asset Studio that helps you generate your own app icons from material icons. So you can create your icons from material icons, your images and text strings, or it is done using the Android Studio image asset. So it generates the set of icon at the appropriate resolution for each pixel density that your app supports. So the best thing about developing your icon in the Android image asset is basically setting the resolution of each pixel that is supportable by your application. So just create your icon using the Android Studio image asset, and it will be integrated with your application. So just click OK, and this clip art will be changed. You can change the color as well. I'm not going to change because my system is already very hand. You can change the foreground layer, and you can also change the background layer by changing the color or the image or anything that is suitable to you guys. Okay, okay, just choose that background, foreground, and just design your application. Select it as a launcher icon because we are going to set it as a launcher icon. You can also design the action bar and tab icon and notification icons for your specific kind, if you want to add notification or tabs in your application. But for just now, you just click next, and after that it will ask you that some files are going to overwrite because you are changing in that file that in which the default icon is placed. So yes, we want to overwrite it, and we don't want to add again and again all the path and everything. So if you want to see these files, if you go on the drawables, you can see the IC launcher background file. That is basically the XML. The beauty of the icons is basically they are the adaptive icons, so they create the vector XMLs. So you can check that background XML. Also you can check the IC launcher foreground and background. If you go on the MIP map, where the basically all these icon files are placed, you find the two folder, that is IC launcher and IC launcher underscore round. Basically IC launcher and IC launcher underscore round change your icon into box size and in round icon. So when you open the IC launcher PNG, there is also an XML. You can open that XML so that you can view. Basically I want to show you guys the code of your icon that you have just designed. So this is basically your design code. Here as I have already mentioned, in editor window you can edit the files, as iclauncher.xml is an XML file, so you can edit that file. If you go on the split, it will show you the design as well as the code. If you go to the code, it will show you only the code, and in the code you can see that there are two tabs, that is background and the foreground. And in background you have selected the color, and in the foreground you have selected the drawable. So this is basically the mechanism how you can edit your IC launcher. Now if you install your application on your device, it basically shows this icon instead of the default icon that Android has provided you. So in this way you can. Now the question is how you can run your application. So let me guide you about this. I have already provided the notes about the emulator design, but you must know that you can run your application in two platforms. One is your physical phone. If you attach your physical phone with your USB cable, you can run your application on that. But before that you have to install the OEM USB OEM USB drivers for your, if you go on this, if you copy this link and open this link, you will find the USB drivers. Here at the end of the at the end of the page, you may find the OEMs that from which company your device belong. If from the Samsung or Acer or any kind of device, just go on the drive URL and download that exe and install that. For example, I have the Samsung, I just select that and just download that exe file and install on your phone. So after installing your USB driver, you can run your application directly on your phone. But from where you can run your phone, in the toolbar window, you all have the Everyday Manager here. Here you have the Everyday Manager icon. Click on that Everyday Manager icon and create your virtual device. If you have already created, just skip that step, but if not, you just go to the Everyday Manager and it will open a screen. Just create a virtual device, select on plus virtual device, select any phone based on your application design what you are targeting. For example, you are targeting with 5-inch screen, you can select the Pixel 2 or any other that you think is suitable for your application. Click next and then select the system image. If all images get with download any one system image, so before and install it, and after that select that image. So this system image is basically required. Then after that, specification, there is a specification listed here. Just select the specification. You can define the RAM. For example, you can limit it to 512. You can go with the, if you have a good specification system, you can go with the default as there and click on the finish. And after that, when you have listed all the virtual devices here, just click on the play button here and it will start your device. Like my device is opened here. So this is basically your device is started. It may take some time. So before starting your application, just run your device. After that, when you have created your Everyday, just select on Everyday. If you have installed your USB drivers, you can select your phone from the drop down menu here. Here is a drop down menu available. If you select that drop down, it will show you all the available phones and emulators. Select this that emulator which is already running, or you want to run again. Click play and it will basically run your application on your device. So till that your application start running on your device. And here in your application there is a Logcat. Logcat is basically on number 6. Here you can see the Logcat. Logcat is basically on number 6. This basically display all the information of your emulated device, that is emulator that you just have started. I have selected that my emulator. If you run if you have 2 emulator, you can switch between the emulators as well. Select the emulator and it will show all the processes that are basically running on your device, and it will take some time as you can see on the status bar that my application is running on my AVD device. So wait for that until some response comes. So if there is any red or any black blue color switches, it means that it is giving the messages related to your emulator. Basically this blue, black and maroon color is not very related to the error, but if it comes red, it is basically pointing the logical error that occurs when you run your application. So the logical error are basically tracked using the logcat of your emulator. Here is also the terminal and the build. We will discuss later that what these are, but these also basically help you to use some commands, passing some messages through the terminals as well. So these are basically some tips that you can use. So my application is running. Before during that will I have just created another thing for you guys, that is basically the structure of the Android file system. If you see that structure, this I have routed all the, basically I try to show all the folders or files that are present on your on your project, and you can understand what these what these folders and files are all about. But you must know that the three files are very important, that is the main activity, activity underscore main, and the, why it is not showing in the full screen, and the manifest file. A manifest file .xml file is basically about the configuration file, activity underscore about the UI design, and main activity.java about the Java files. So starting from the first folder, that is my first app. Basically this is the root folder in which all the applications are listed. In the root folder there is a folder app in which your application structure is placed. In application there are two main folder, one is build folder and another is source folder. Usually the source folder appears and the build folders do not appear, but when you run your application on your emulator or any device, this build folder appears after that. In this build folder is basically the system generated files lies after installing your installing your application on your emulator. So the build folder contains the file that Android create for you. You don't usually edit in this folder. So this folder is not for us, this is for the compiler, because we do not edit it manually any of the files. Here is a folder generated and the source, and then R folder and the debug folder and the package folder, and then the r.java. The r.java basically is the file that every Android project have and needs a file called r.java, which is created for you, and it lives in the generated folder. Android uses it to help to keep track of the resources in the app. So all the resources you add in the res folder is basically listed in the r.java, and it helps you find out the Android to try to display the files. So this is basically, this is system generated file. You don't have to generate it by yourself. Just if you created a project rightly, it will create automatically and keep track all the resources of your folder of your project. Then there comes the source folder that is relevant to the developer. The source folder contains the source code you write and edit. Okay, and in source there is a main folder. In main folder contains the Java code you write, any activities you create and live here. So in source there is a folder main, and then the Java, and in Java you have the package that you have created for your application, and then main activity.java. Main activity.java is basically, you all know, is the basic first activity of your application in which you start writing your code. And then in the main folder there is another folder that is resource. You can find the system resources in the res folder. The layout folder contains layouts, and the values folder contains resource file for the values and strings. You can get other type of resources too. Okay, then there come the layout. In resource, the most important folder is layout, in which you define the layout for your activities, and the values folder that contains the strings, colors or styles, and the manifest file that basically every Android app must include a file called android manifest.xml at its root. The manifest file contains essential information about the app, such as what component it contains, required libraries, and other declarations. So string.xml contains all these strings, and activity underscore main contains the UI of the main. So we will discuss how you can change these three files. Okay, I guess my project is still not loaded. Oh god. Okay, as it is taking some time, so we start working on our project. As we have discussed right now, that there are two important thing, that is activity underscore main and main activity. Today we will design an application, a main screen only, and we will see how we can create it. For example, we will go on the activity underscore main. In activity underscore main, you can see two views here in corner. There is code view, split view, and design view. We will go for the split, so that we can access both at the same time. Okay, if we go to the split, here is the code, and here is our screen. If select the component tree, there is a component tree available here. In component tree, basically displays that what kind of resources an XML have, that is constraint, layout, and the text view. If you select on the palette, it will display all the UI icon that are available, and you can add on your application. So just add an image view. Let me add first I must add a linear layout. You can select the layouts from here, and then the linear layout, drag that linear layout. For example, I want to add the vertical because I want to arrange my element as horizontal. So I add a vertical layout here. After the adding the linear layout, under the constraint layout, I add image view and the text view by just dragging and dropping an image view and the text view, so that I can arrange my main screen in which a image appears, and a welcome message is displayed. And this main screen is basically displayed for the 5 seconds, and it will switch to another activity. So this is basically the purpose of today's application, that how we can create an application using that. I have added the linear layout. Now I add the text view under the linear layout, so that it can arrange linearly. And here comes the image view common. Select the common. Here is an image view. Drag the image view. Okay, when you drag the image view, there is another window appears that will ask you that which kind of image you want to add. There may be an option of let's check that. So there is a zoom option, and there is a preview option. Okay, they don't have the option here, but let's select any of the available icons for now. We will edit that later. Just select that, click on OK. Okay, now it have added the image view in the linear layout. Now I want to add a text view under the linear layout so that it appears here. So component tree basically sets you the hierarchy that where your message is and where your text is. So I just dragged and dropped that. Okay, if I want to add in the second column, I will drag it here. Okay, now in image view I don't want to add this kind of image, so I just have to go to my desktop. If I have, yes, I have an image here, as I have named it hello. Why it is so slow? Okay, select that image, just control C, copy, drag that image and paste here in the resource folder. In the resource folder I create another folder, that is the raw folder, so that I can arrange my elements here. Okay, why it is so slow? In the res folder, just right click on new and create a directory, and name it as raw, raw, and I just copy that image and place that into the raw. Just paste is control V. Oh god, and it will ask the naming convention. You must add a name that is a lower letter and a variable name. So raw have image that is hello, and I want to change my image view, so I will select the source, that is Android colon I can add the source as Android colon source or source equal to @raw \hello. Okay, now if you can see in the marker bar, there is some problem here, that is expected equal to. Okay, they have find out that, I guess, but still there is no change here because I haven't deleted that attribute. Okay, now I want to add my text, or I can change my text view. Select on the text view, so this image appears here. So finally, well, select your text view and check the attribute window here, and change the text size from here. There is an option text size. Okay, the text size is basically I want to change here text from hello to welcome to my application. Okay, and I want to change my text size, that is 14 to some other pixel, that is 24 or 30, so that it becomes the visible. I can minimize that for the further use. Just minimize that so that you can view that. So this is my text. Okay, this is my text appeared here. That is not so much. I guess this is not changed. Okay, I can align it as center. Oh god, where did this go? Okay, it's easy for me to change to the text to the edit view. Now in the edit view, you can see that there is no ID for the text view. Just add an ID, that is Android colon ID equal to @ plus ID backslash and any ID that you want to give. For example, I want to give it as a TV. Okay, now you can add the number of the pixel here as well. For example, I want to add the text size. I'll write Android colon text size equal to 30 pixel, for example. I don't know why my system is too slow today. Okay, write its text size equal to 30 pixel. SP, that is basically SP stand for scale pixel. Okay, or PX. Okay, PX is not the better one, SP is the better one. Okay, now I want to style my text as well. Okay, I guess this style is not okay, and there is the listed font icons are not I just want to add another font. You just go to the select the project. Okay, then go to the app. No, it's the project file where your main folder resides, source and main. Okay, select the project file, source, main, and in main you have to just add another folder, that is assets, new, and a new directory. Okay, right click on new, and then directory. Here comes the name, select as assets. Okay, enter that and it will create a directory, and under the assets directory create another directory, that is the fonts, so that we can add the manual fonts here. Right click on the assets, new, and directory. And write the name as font. So you can add your fonts asset here. You just have to go any font website. I just have a link here also. This one, if it still exists, dafont.com. and here you will find the amazing fonts, and you can download any kind of font that is appealing to you. For example, I want to add this shiny signature. Download that, and it is a zip file. Go to the folder where this basically is downloaded, and extract. Yeah, there's so many files here, so I just have to drop it on the desktop. Just drop here and extract here. And there is a shiny signature. Rename that file as without spaces. For example, I want to add as shine. Okay, just copy that file, Control C, and in the directory that you just have created, that is fonts, write that directory here as Control V. Okay, and this font is basically copied here. This is the shine.ttf. Okay, now go to the this is basically our main screen, and I want to add as width as fill parent. Okay, if you have if you forgot anything, just click Control space and it will guide you to that, and align that Android : alignment text alignment equal to center. So it may okay, it have centralized my. So this, I want just this screen to appear here. Now I go to the main activity. I just link my typeface. Yes, I just have created my typeface. Typeface is basically the font style that I just have created. Typeface, alt enter. Font, semicolon, and okay, this is basically, this message is from our Gutter. So Gutter tell us that we have to add a typeface. We have added a typeface. Alt enter. Text typeface. Font typeface or text typeface. Okay, the system is too slow today. Okay, let's continue this in our next tutorial, that how we can add the text typeface. I just have to restart my system and we will start again. Okay, let's meet in another tutorial. Thank you.